Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to our follow-up AMA session with Max Breus. Last week, we started replying to your questions, and we still have some of them unanswered. So this time, we've decided to start with them. Hello, Max.
Hi, Tasha.
How are you doing?
Everything is fine. Quite busy schedule, but as we promised to start our next AMA session just in a few days, we must start to answer questions because we have quite a lot of them, and as we told on previous our meeting, we will answer all of them. And if we need to start next AMA in a few days, we definitely will do it just in a couple of days. So it depends on amount of questions. And please, let's go. Let's start.
Yeah, sure. So last time in our chat, we promised that we will start this AMA session with answering the questions regarding sharding. Maybe we can start with that. Can you tell us more about that and how's the progress with this project?
Yes, we discussed that I described that in our case for our architecture, it will be not so difficult like for such famous platforms like Ethereum or some of DAG-based platform. Really, for some of them, it's really difficult or even impossible to release. So in our case, it's quite easy, and our guys already we started to develop it quite a long time ago. But there was a lot of other more important tasks and issues. If you take a look on our GitHub, there are quite a lot of new things added just in last month, in a couple of months, to increase network stability, to increase efficient connection between nodes, and so on. So for now, the next our nearest plan is to finalize smart to adjust smart contract launching with it will be possible for everybody, and it's very important part of our next of our vision, because I think we not too much DAG-based platform who use smart contracts in, and we will be one of just a few of them. And you know that we already use and we used them from the beginning, from testnet. It was tested just in the first version, but there was a limitation. We had limitations to run smart contracts for everybody, because there should be added some additional features like to calculate additional load on network, to add something like gas calculation, like it was released, it been released in Ethereum network, and this part, I really glad that we almost finished this part. Our guys testing right now, and after this stage, we will start to develop. Not start. We will continue. We will move our focus on sharding. Sharding is very interesting, actually interesting from theoretical point of view, but we have no actually really difficult tasks that which cause a huge huge load on network, and but we expecting that starting with several collaboration with our several partners, we could be really it will be really necessary to have sharding already developed for such cases. I will remind that in our case, it's a classical sharding. If you will use terms of database information system, so there will be our database will be split between groups of nodes and between consiliums. If you want to learn more about it, you can read our latest version of white paper, and it will increase efficient use of our network storage, because for example, if you use network for some simple things like for example, just notarize some data flow, you have to deploy a lot of transactions, and they should be really cheap. Inside your consilium, you can set almost actually any price of any fee for transaction for usage of your data, but after implementing sharding, you will store you will use only your nodes to as a storage of your data. So we will just control integrity and that's it. But we don't need to have a global storage for and to duplicate all data between all nodes. So for our case, it will be really interesting. I just want to move to go to another question. So it's we started to develop it. Our focus is to finalize smart contracts to make it open to run for everyone. And next, our goal is to launch sharding. So this is a question for our next milestone.
Okay, so do you have like maybe some timeline when it will be developed, or not yet?
Actually, we have assumptions, but I would like to set dates after we will run smart contracts, because you know, when we make some estimations and really rough estimations, just really rough assumptions, but when we tell about some date frames, we will have a lot of questions, and it will be better to finalize first task, and after that we will be more room to estimate more precisely for next stage. But I think it will. It's not quite. It's not difficult, and we need, I think, just several months, not a year, not a half of a year, maybe 6, maybe less months to test, to develop, to test, and so on. It's not a really long-term development. It's quite easy to
implement. Yeah. Okay. I thought that maybe we could share the status of the sandbox projects. We've received a lot of questions last time after the EMA. Namely, people were asking about LiveBuy project and the UBIX.
Yeah. So, from which we should start? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should start with LiveBuy.
LiveBuy. We added this project to list after just in times of strict restrictions caused by pandemic, and there was a really important. It was really important to support different projects and businesses and different, especially small business in such tough times. But for now, we see no such demand on market, and we should focus on. And this project is not so interesting from the point of view of integration and use of our our different other projects like Silent Notary, UBIX Exchange, and so on. So we are trying to not just start random projects, but it's very important to achieve some synergy between them. So we decided to cut off some projects, and LiveBuy is power. So we decided to finally. There are just a couple of guys from our community who supported and bought tokens, so they will be refunded for sure, and we will focus on another projects. So let's go to another one.
Yeah, well, actually, people were also asking, for those projects that will not be developed, when they will be getting their tokens back.
It will be just there are just several transactions to make a refund. Just I don't remember exactly, maybe 3, maybe 4, and we will do just private without any public discussion and announcement. So it's not necessary for this case. So
okay.
Sorry, Tasha, I'm a bit sick, so maybe if I speak not so loud, just add some volume, please, or tell me, because
actually it could be better because I'm in the maximum now and I can barely hear you.
So let's go to another one.
Okay.
I think I saw a lot of questions about UBIX Exchange.
Yes.
Yes, we have some not difficulties, but we have some internal problems with launching this project, because we need additional team members who will manage this project in more active in more active way, in more active region, because for now our developers, they finalized all internal things. They develop an additional, not maybe important, but such things like, for example, to add additional market sections, additional features to increase stability and security. But for now, we are really ready to launch it. There are some the most important part is is the marketing and promotion. So we discussed a lot with you, and we will continue after when we will finalize everything with UBIX network and Silent Notary. So there will be obviously that there will be rebranding, there will be a new version of website. Everything should be. I think you can add your vision, but it's quite obvious that it's very important to start from having a really good basis, and it's important to finalize new design and so on. And another quite interesting thing that we are hiring right now, I told about hiring new guys in our product management team. So our first task for them is to launch UBIX Exchange, because we really need a new look, new power, and to finalize UBIX network, UBIX Exchange team. We can't use other guys and other specialists from other projects, because for every project we have a separate team, and we don't want mix all things together. And but I see, I understand some questions, because we had quite a good start. We developed trade terminal, matching machine, and everything quite easy. We started to list our internal project, but we don't want to use it just for internal projects at all. It's not our goal. So we are preparing a real start of this project, and it will be really huge, not like just a small exchange for our ecosystem. But for such preparation, we need quite a lot of time, unfortunately. So it's not so easy.
Okay. Also, there was a question about when will the tokens be distributed? The UBIX holders, they are asking when they are getting their rewards.
Yes, because we have, because of our small scale of operation, just we use this exchange only for internal tokens, and actually there are not a lot of them, and not too much people use it. We have I will find you numbers. We have really small amounts of commissions, so there are no any sense to distribute only if you want to just to show people how we could use it. Just a moment, I found. So we have commissions accumulated at the moment in UBIX network, in UBIX Exchange, around 5 million of UBIX tokens, around less than 1 Ethereum, around 5 millions of UBSN tokens, 250 UBIX Exchange tokens, 30 tokens of UBIX, it's a UB stake, and just 200 USDT. So of course we could distribute them, but actually a transaction cost commission will be quite huge. But let's decide. Maybe we can distribute everything accumulated so far. So for now, and we could show how it works. So let's discuss, Tasha, with you. Is it necessary if we can just demonstrate how they will be distributed? But
that's exciting. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yes.
Okay, can we do it? Can we do it right now, or should we schedule another meeting to show everyone around?
Okay, I think we can do it this week. Until the end of this week, we'll distribute.
Okay, perfect.
We will convert them to UBIX coins, and they will be distributed between all token holders. But we should understand that everybody should know that a real amount will be some good distributed only after when this will be launched and will work on full scale, not like a demonstration and for internal use. So let's go. We will distribute this week, and we will inform, of course, our token holders, because I think we should prepare upfront before the distribution to have several days to, for example, move them from exchange, move tokens from exchange to just be ready to receive a distribution. So, okay, let's go.
Also, everyone is asking about USN listings. There were a lot of questions regarding when are we going to list them on top 3 exchanges. I guess that we replied to this question last time. As far as I remember, we were talking about listings and how it's not working properly and it doesn't add any value to us at the moment. But yeah, I think since there's still questions, we can discuss on that as well one more time.
Yes, we have a plan, and we need to run now. We have we have not only plan, we have agreements with top rated exchanges. There are several requirements. We are performing them, so we just need to wait, and we will for sure be listed on good exchanges, of course. So we are in progress, but I can't tell anything about in details about listings, about exchanges, and so on. But just as actually we finalize all agreements in April this year. So for now we have a plan what we should finishing development in business development to get listed, because we have very good contacts, and our project is very interesting, not from just a really interesting point of view, because for one exchange we have an agreement to use silent notary to notarize internal processes of this exchange, for example, like KYC. Yes, so exchange will be our client and we will be client of this exchange. Quite interesting. Yes. So That's why we in this case we shouldn't pay huge listing fees. It's very important because we really carefully use reserves as there was no some huge ICO for silent notary, you know. So our next goal is is a business development, and there will be a listing for sure after that. Could you give me just 1 minute? I need to make a break. Just could you wait a bit, please?
Sure.
Just a few seconds.
Let me read your questions on YouTube, guys, then while Max is off. Then you're asking about listing. We just replied to that one. You're asking about the UBIX holders. You're asking when they're gonna get their rewards. Okay, let's ask about that. Find out about that. And also we still have questions from the last EMA session. If you still have anything else you would like to ask, please use the comment section on YouTube. It's open for everyone. Go ahead. Are you back?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, so another question about token distribution is regarding UBIX SAM.
So UBIX is our UBIX UBIX stake. So there will be daily distributions of rewards. I think we should. We are waiting when all necessary things will be developed. Our UBIX stake team is working on it, and they'll almost finalize. And just before the launching of daily distribution, we will distribute all accumulated funds between token holders. Because next day they will receive, and every next day they will receive daily distribution. But just before that, we will distribute all accumulated funds. So we are waiting for developers that when all this mechanism will be ready. Because if we will use a standard distribution, we have to distribute small portions before it will be work on in automatic regime just on daily basis. So I kindly ask you to wait a bit more when all things will be finalized. I think I will discuss with developers and give you exact, not exact days, but more solid date and time frame when this development should be finished. So Tasha, I think we will make some announcement about date of new mechanism of rewards distribution.
Yeah, sure.
So,
yeah.
Yes. So let's go to another questions.
There is a tricky one. I hope you don't mind that I ask. Given how long it's taken to implement tested web and Langia partnership, is the project really scalable solution?
For Langia, we are waiting for our partners. We developed all things outside, but they faced with a problem not a problem, but they prepared for future technological stake and actually redevelop the inner core of the system. And it's really convenient for us because they use the same technological stack like we use for Sign Notary and UBIX network. They use for example Node.js for their backend. It's very convenient for future integration, because it will be quite easy to collaborate with developers between each other, because they will use the same technology. We are waiting for when they finish on their site. It should be finished just in a couple of weeks, I think. They took 6 weeks 1 month ago, so I think only 2 weeks left, just approximate data, approximate time frame. So I think in a couple of weeks they finalize their movement to Node.js, and they will start their backend on a new technological basis. And as all other things from our side already been developed, so we will start just in a couple of weeks after that. So just waiting for them. All things discussed, agreed, and we just faced this quite unexpected delay. As to tested web, we are waiting for news just in several in a couple of weeks, but I think in several days, because they will start quite soon. Just subscribe on the channels. They already starting to prepare their audience for public announcements. So I think they will start in a few days until maximum couple of weeks, and after that we will we use the same integration mechanism like we use for LangR. So this is a universal solution to work with, to integrate with our external partners. We use the same for LangR and tested web, just maybe with some really small adjustments. So for LangR, I expect a couple of weeks when they will be ready to continue our integration, and for tested web, it will be sooner than 2 weeks, I think. Okay.
Well, I could add here that since people are questioning the scalability of our solution, I should say here is that it's all developed basically, well, we can say almost from scratch for each project, and we're in innovation field here, so it might take a while, but it's definitely a very scalable solution. It's just depends, it's different from industry to industry. They have different requirements, so we had to fit those requirements. That's why it's taking a while. Also, there was a question, it's quite actually huge question. I don't know how you can reply that. Where are we right now? Like, they are asking for updates about the progress and what can be expected within the next half a year or a year.
We developed several interesting things. We developed a new wallet, and we will, but I don't want to announce it right now because I think our marketing team will prepare some more interesting announcement than just during AMA session. I mean, I think we will discuss it, and we will announce in more proper way. So there will be really new interesting things which will increase. Actually, we will have absolutely new level of UX UI. I mean, much more easy to use our solutions for average user. Not it will be really easy to send tokens, to make transactions. A new wallet we can't use in external wallets because we have our specific platform, and so we developed our own one. Really interesting thing. In some ways much more interesting than, for example, MetaMask. So there will be new developments, new project, and of course starting several projects from our sandbox. For network development, we expect using simple use of smart contracts. It will be developed for sure really soon, not even in 6 months, much more faster. And maybe in 6 months we will have some use and some test of sharding. I think it could be really nice. It will be really nice. So business development for silent notary, new companies, new clients, and new markets. I think actually I don't know, maybe not all of our guys from community aware that we have a new website of silent notary with couple of interesting links, like notarizing power of attorneys and notarizing diplomas and so on. So this is a preparation. This is just a simple solutions, but they were made for new clients. So this is an MVP for new markets, and they will be, of course, spread like additional services for silent notary in nearest future. So I think in your time, in set time frame, and in 6 months, it will be there will be a huge development in this area. So for silent notary, we will see new Explorer for notarized documents. So everybody can check and find notarized document using data from certificate, notarization certificate, and I expect some new additional clients for silent notary, because I think they will be published as well in this period. And of course, as we described, a real start launch of UBIX exchange with open listing for all projects. It's already been developed, tested, and actually already personally for my account I have a permission to list any project as well. So it will be possible for everyone, of course, when we will start promotion this project. So all things already developed, all things, all functions, all features already developed for UBIX exchange. We will launch a crowd feeding project as well from our sandbox. it's already developed, and you will see it in this time frame, of course, in this period. So let me check, maybe we can prepare some additional things, but I think it will be better to update our plans and update our roadmap. So it should be noted and described in the roadmap. New projects, new features, new milestones. Let me prepare, discuss with our team, and I will take 1 week to update it. Okay. So maybe next AMA session we will discuss your roadmap. Okay. So let's go to another question.
Apart from those partnerships that are already announced, are we planning any other partners and project to work on, or how do we go about it?
We have a lot of new things, but our maybe not standard. We don't disclose for anything before it will be released. And, we don't want to speculate with some possible collaboration and so on. But when everything will be finalized, when we will sign agreements, and we will have real partnerships and real use of our services. After that, we will announce anything. But for now, we have a lot of requests, of course. We have a lot of discussions, and actually we are choosing between different markets, but because we have a really not a huge resources, we can develop a lot of different things at one moment, because it's just a simple rule. You should be focused on one market. You should reach some. You should get some share in this market, and then you can expand. But not. It's very stupid to start to launch a lot of different directions, and to just spread your power between your resources between different clients. So our goal is to finalize agreements and start to develop common project on integration with client. And only after that we will continue to another one. So please wait for announcements.
Okay.
But we can't discuss some particular things, specific things right now.
Okay, I guess that's the last question for today. Actually, a few people were asking, and I'm not sure how to reply that. They were asking, are we planning to scale the team to make the development faster, to have backup like developers?
Sure. We actually, maybe Tasha, we should discuss with you. Maybe we will announce, or maybe we should announce new team members who are joining us. Because, for example, last month we found, not just found, the sensor. For example, we hired we found 10 candidates, not just found. They made tasks, they proved their skills, and so on. But only after 1 month you will see if it was a good idea to hire this guy or not. So, for example, last month we found and hired, and they proved, and they're working really good. Three new developers, not even less than 1 month. I mean people who are not in public space, like for example you, but guys who's looking for on protocol, on UBIX network, on UBIQ, on UBPay, and other projects. So we hire new guys, and 2 months ago we found several guys as well. So we're expanding, we're adding people, but we're doing really carefully, because all our developers, they are really they're very busy, not skilled and really busy. They have too much things to do. So it's for every new guy, you should spend a lot of time to explain him a lot of things, to teach him. He could be really skilled, but he can't just start to work immediately. You need to stop your job, to stop your tasks, to spend a lot of time for newbie and new guys, and then after several weeks, he will help you in your development. But before, you should invest time of your really busy developers. But that's why it's really impossible to just hire a lot of guys, because someone should explain them, learn them, integrate them in our current development project process. So, but everything is going really cool. I'm really happy with current development team, and we found new guys, and they already working on 100%. So just for example, take a look on our GitHub. There was not too much development in protocol. For example, improvements. We were busy with fixing bugs, but for now we are finalizing really interesting tasks, which will be really important just in a few weeks and a few months, for when we will launch different things for our clients, for our services. Just if you will take a look on protocol, on network. But in our private repositories, there are much more interesting things are happening. So I really hope to show you everything as videos. So answering your question, we are hiring very active. Actually, we have HR guy who is working full time on this task, and we are looking for guys. We are giving some tasks, and we have a lot of. We have quite serious criteria and demands. Because we need, for example, really skilled, high-skilled guys. Yeah, especially for protocol development. It's very, very specific field, for a specific area. So everything is going fine with hire. And for example, with you, we're discussing right now additional team expanding in marketing, in content, for content development, for different sets. So maybe we just need to inform our community when we will find new guy. But some of them, they don't want to be public. It's not, developers, most of them, they don't want any publicity. Maybe we should talk with them. When you for example, Tasha started to make to add all our developers on website. You asked all of them to send some info about them, and I think you receive only 1/2 of all our only half of our developers send information, because another half, they don't want to publish anything about them. So you're trying to publish them on our website. Not all of them are happy with that. So we will work on adding more publicity, because I understand that some our guys from communities, they're really worried about this issue, about the amount of developers and so on. So at least we can publish. We have a public amount of developers, amount of employer. I mean, only on full-time, hired on full-time, because we have, a part-time and some freelancers, but just for small tasks, not for. It's not a parameter, and which could characterize our project development. So we just counting in full-time hired and working people. Okay.
All right, Naki.
So yeah, I really feel not good today. I got some virus again. So, but let's collect questions, and if there will be, if it's necessary, we can continue and start our next AMA session in a couple of days.
Yeah, we can discuss that. And I thank you for all the replies that you had for us today. And I thank all of you guys who were able to join, and those of you who are watching it in the record. Have a nice week, guys. And if you have any questions, just send them in the community or in the comment section. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Tasha. Thank you, everybody.